Some people wonder how anyone can enjoy difficult games. They're frustrating, cruel, and truly unforgiving. Why would you ever put yourself through this? Aren't games supposed to be fun? Well, let me explain why us borderline masochists enjoys these games. Let me ask you a question. Are you good at anything? Maybe a sport, maybe cooking, maybe art, or heck, maybe you even just made it out gold in League of Legends. Don't get me wrong, I'm not asking if you're the best in the world at a career or hobby. The point I'm trying to make here is that humans love to master things. As corny as it is, we have this willpower inside of us to constantly improve. This is getting a bit philosophical for a stupid gaming video, but this is a big reason why I like games. Video games are a great way to challenge yourself and truly get good at something. Often in life, getting good at something can take years and years of practice with small micro improvements along the way. But in video games, you can spend 30 hours playing and practicing and see immense strides in your skill. This is a huge reason that I enjoy playing them, and no game showcase is better than hard games. But why? Why are hard games better? Well, hard games allow you to truly express your skill. Many of these games, like Dark Souls and eldenring, are commonly said to be hard but fair. Sure, there's a bit of bullshit, but overall these games demand you to get better or else you can't see any more of its content. You need to learn, you need to try and try again, or you're never going to see the whole game. And yes, these games are difficult. Yes, they may take hours of banging your head against a single boss, but you will improve. The boss will get easier and easier every attempt until eventually, with a sliver of your health, you beat it. Only to realize there's a phase 2! Fighting difficult bosses while slowly learning their patterns is a super important part of many hard games, because you are always able to defeat them if you just continuously put in effort. It might take a long time, it might not always be fun, but it will always lead to results, which is the reward itself. At one point, I tried getting my sister into Hollow Knight. I always describe the game as 2D Dark Souls to people who don't know it. You have big areas to explore and challenging bosses that gatekeep progress, and a dark atmosphere that places story second to visual scenery. Now, Hollow Knight is a hard game. It's not the hardest game in the world, but it is commonly considered a tough game that demands mechanical skill. I warned my sister about this as I convinced her to try it, but I still wanted her to play it because I love the game a lot. It was definitely hard for her, but she was able to slowly but surely make progress through the game. Eventually, however, she hit a roadblock. Hornet was the first genuine obstacle she encountered. Hornet is a very fast boss for beginners and easily wiped her out quickly. After a few attempts, my sister handed me the controller and asked me to beat the boss for her. I took the controller and began to beat Hornet, until I realized that there's no real point for me to do it. I've beaten Hornet hundreds of times in the boss rush mode, so the only reason I would be beating her is to let my sister keep playing. But the whole point of the game is to beat difficult bosses, and if I beat Hornet, then I would probably have to beat the next boss, and the next boss, and the next boss, until we beat the game. I gave her back the controller and told her that I wouldn't beat the boss for her, but that she needs to beat it on her own. She was annoyed at me, but she kept playing. We sat there for a few hours trying and trying. It seemed almost impossible. However, she always got a little bit further each attempt. I was able to watch in real time as she became a better gamer, recognizing the attack patterns and windows to heal, and eventually, after around 3 hours, she beat Hornet. My sister, who was never a particularly great gamer, was able to grind and grind until she beat what seemed like an impossible opponent. She never ended up beating Hollow Knight, but every time I bring it up, she looks back on Hornet fondly. Was I annoying? Yeah, probably, but it forced her to grind through the boss and continuously improve until she got better. You might have had a similar experience in another game with a boss yourself. But what I found is that the hardest bosses that you are forced to overcome often become your favorite moments with the game, because you truly struggled to beat an insurmountable boss. I didn't like eldenring very much. I thought the game was alright, but I didn't love the new bosses as they felt more annoying in a bad way than any other Dark Souls game, and I don't think Malenia was a very well designed boss, having basically a one-shot until you purposely ran away. However, looking back, defeating Malenia is easily my favorite part of the game. I spent 6 hours one day sat down doing the exact same thing over and over and over again. Run into the boss room, die at some point in the fight, respawn, and run it back. On the outside, this looks like insanity, and yet I did eventually beat Malenia and remember the relief and excitement that I felt, just like it was yesterday. It's the process of being so determined to win that leads to the best results and, of course, the best pop-offs.
my fly was down.
I feel like I bring up Celeste every video I make, but it's because I love it so much. Celeste is a hard game in a different way than the others. With there only being one part of the game that can be considered a boss, Celeste is much more about the challenge of movement. The movement of Celeste is the best part of the entire game. There are so many advanced moves that people have made countless videos on why the movement is so amazing and how to do it. In all honesty, the base game of Celeste is pretty easy. Getting to the so-called end is challenging, sure, but it isn't until you dive into the optional content that it really gets hard. And trust me, it gets hard. I have 11,740 deaths on my main account, but I easily have over 20,000 deaths playing the game on different files in my Switch, and I loved every single one. Death is so quick in Celeste and is always your fault that it's so easy to just get back up and try again. If I didn't already make it obvious, it's incredibly fun to get better at the movement. Everything in the game feels so smooth that you just want to get better because it's fun. Even Nintendo has started to recognize that incredibly hard moments in games are the most memorable. Nintendo has always been known for making games targeted towards children, which usually means they're easier. But they've started a new trend of adding a super difficult final level to their games. It's kind of become a tradition for Mario to add a secret final course that challenges everything you've ever learned in the game. I know I'm not the only person who remembers playing levels like Champion's Road from Super Mario 3D World for hours, only to finish it and remember years later the feeling of pride it gave me. Some of the most popular levels in Mario Maker are nigh on impossible levels that people grind for hours and hours of their time just to complete. Whether it's Darker Side of the Moon from Mario Odyssey, After Alterna in Splatoon 3, the perfect run in Super Mario Galaxy 2, or the battle against Red on Mount Silver in Pokemon Gold and Silver, these levels have become memorable because of the immense difficulty to prove you are good at the game. But to take a step back from gaming, I want to talk about the drive to improve. I honestly believe in my heart that humans just love improvement. From personal experience, I've just started out making videos, and it's really hard to make them. But every video I pick one thing to improve upon, so that I can look back and see how I've gone better. It doesn't sound that bad. Picking just one thing to improve upon each video is really hard, but it's super rewarding as well. I love looking back and seeing how much I've gotten better over time. This is the exact reason that I like hard games. I'm able to redo moments like Hornet, Millennia, and Farewell and realize that before I grinded, I had no idea how I was going to beat them, but now I can. There's really nothing better than honing a craft and building the confidence that you can do anything. In the corniest way possible, hard games taught me that if I put effort into something, I can do anything. I hope that ending wasn't too weird, but I seriously encourage everyone to try hard games because I really do love them. Thank you so much for all the support you guys have given me. I realize it's been a while since my last upload, but personally, I've been struggling a lot with this video, but I promise I'm working on something every single day. If you liked the video, please drop a like, a sub, or comment, or anything, and I'll see you next time. Later.